went to South Africa in 1995, I was very fortunate to be invited to come and help with sport management development in South Africa. And one of the individuals who was the father of sport management in South Africa was a man named Johan Gous. And when I went in May of this year, it was for the Johan Gous Memorial Lecture. He passed away about 5 years ago. But he was the father of sport management in South Africa. And basically in around 1990, he stepped out of his post as a bank official. And he'd also been a high-ranking rugby official. And so that combination of business and sport gave him a unique perspective. And so he went to Royal Afrikaans University, which is now the University of Johannesburg, and started their sport management program in their business school. And so he invited me several times to come over, about every other year for about 6 or 8 years, and do some seminars to say how we were developing sport management here in the United States. And I was there in the fall of 1995, which was after the World Cup Rugby, which he'd been involved in. And one of the players from their university is a player named Francois Pienaar. Francois Pienaar is probably most familiar to people who've watched the movie Invictus. It's the Matt Damon character who was captain the South African team that Nelson Mandela brought to the president's office and said, "I need your help. We need to pull this country together, and I think the World Cup Rugby and the Springbok team can pull this together." So I had an opportunity to meet Francois Pienaar after a rugby game, and because of my connection with Professor Gous, Francois Pienaar gave me a World Cup rugby ball from 1995, their championship team, and autographed it to me. And so, great individual, and I think the World Cup Rugby in 1995 really did help solidify what Nelson Mandela was trying to do, is to say, we can't change what happened in the past. We can come together now and try to be one nation with many people.
Can you show us the
Sure, here's the World Cup rugby ball autographed to me from Francois Pienaar, and so it's has the official 1995 World Cup rugby ball. So I've had it in my office for quite a while, but until Invictus came out, most people really hadn't heard about the World Cup rugby.
Let's show the autograph here. And you met him after a league match? Was that what I understood? Or
yeah, he was playing for the Springboks, which the Springboks is like the national team. So it's like the all-star team from South Africa. So the Springboks would take the best players from all of the teams, and of course they would play against the New Zealand All Blacks. They would play against the Wallabies from Australia. So some of the best rugby teams in the world would play the Springboks in the rugby league, and so that's what Francois Pienaar was the captain of. And I had an opportunity to watch the Springboks play against the All Blacks in Johannesburg after the World Cup. But it's always the best rugby in the world. And because of my friend Professor Gous, we would go to the receptions. We'd sit in the president's box and watch the game, go to the reception after, and all the players would come up and have a beer and some snacks and stuff with all the VIPs. And so I really felt very fortunate to have been able to meet him and at least be a part of South African rugby.